Hello and welcome. This is part 2 of a two-part series for the lowest combat since the Father. Just like I explained in my first video, it's quite delayed. This is about 6 months after the build was actually finished. You may have seen it on Reddit, so this is just the last part showing how I managed to complete the Sins of the Father quest with minimal combat. It's not really going to be, just like the first one, it's not going to be a explanation on sort of in depth of the mechanics involved. It's more just a documentary style to show how I actually managed to do it. So if you've got an understanding of mechanics, you'll be able to work out what it is that I do. It's just a lot of tick eating and stalling when possible. So it was around about this sort of point that we had to get all the little nitty-gritty bits from the quest out of the way. Managed to figure out that this boss didn't actually need any damage done to it, so you could save as much XP. You just had to recoil it down, and because you could trap it on the table, you could tick eat it, so it was pretty easy to get past. This temple trek bit gave a lot more aggravation than I thought it would be. It seemed to be a lot harder than I thought it was. It was mainly these two vampire juveniles. I tried everything from poisoning with emerald bolts, that didn't work. I tried silver bolts to see if that would work, so I could poison them that way. That wouldn't work either. So then it just literally came to a point of where I had to brute force it. I couldn't really recoil them down, so I just had to try and do what I could with what I had, which was the Avantis flail. This part is fairly easy, as you can see on the screen. It's just recoiling it down. I used the emerald bolts to poison it. That done a bit more damage, made it a bit quicker, but then just tanking hits when I needed to. It's fairly standard to get by. Now this is the second last boss from the quest. I thought it was going to be a lot easier than this. I had read up about the mechanics. It didn't seem that hard. I thought it would be fairly simple, but what I found out, it ended up being the worst part of the whole series. It does two attacks. One, it throws a dart, which is it's like an instant attack, so it's very hard to tick eat. And then the major attack, it's just a standard one that was fairly easy to tick eat. But then he did these fires, which meant that the more fires there were, the less damage that it done on him, and it just made the whole thing, because when you step out of the fire, it put a little stall on you, so it meant that any attack that he sends at you, you didn't have time to tick eat. So it just made this whole process absolutely horrible. I think I died over maybe 50 times trying to get past it. You'll hear I've got the live recording of it afterwards of my reaction when I actually finally do get it, but yeah, this was the biggest pain of the whole thing.
Yes! Fuck! Oh my fucking god! Ah! Oh fuck! It's over. It's fucking.
And after this little bit, finally getting the Blisterwood Flail, it meant that the final boss was going to start. Again, I went into this with a fairly good understanding of the mechanics. I've done it only the once before on my other account. Aside from that, not really done it on any maxed accounts, so I've always done it on some form of limited builds. So going into this, I realised that the best DPS was going to be the blood bombs. So I just had to use them to my advantage as much as possible. Figured out that the method was tick eating, exactly the same as Taste and Hope. It's just 3 tick eats with a normal food, or the 1 with the Guthix Rest. But with all the different special attacks, I thought that it's just easier just to keep up as much DPS as possible while healing with or tick eating with the sweets. That way, every time I did mess up a little bit, I've got some backup. So I used the Guthix Rest or the pizza just to give me that sort of safety net. So you can see here, the best method I found, I think for majority of people that do it, it's just do the step away. So every hit you step back. That way, if he does the stare into the darkness special attack, you're not looking at it, and you're always at a certain distance where you can just instantly hit it once you are ready. At this point, I'm just going to let it play out. I'll just play a bit of music while I show the full fight. This was not as many attempts as the last boss, but this did take a good sort of 4 or 5 attempts to finally get it. I did have one attempt where I got it to, I think, about 13 HP from completing it. And then I hit a lag spike and died. I think at the time I just rage quit and deleted the clip, so there's no way of me being able to get it back. But yeah, that was the most painful part of this whole process, was seeing me get that close to finishing it, and it would have saved me an extra HP XP as well, so I ended up getting another level from that attempt. But even with that, I still think it didn't change my combat level, so I'm still the lowest combat. And since now they've changed the mechanics of the boss, has meant that I think I'm locked in as the lowest combat. The final stage, which is once you've got him to 0, you then go on to the second phase, which is this, what you see on the screen now. So he does a faster attack and sends out these lightning bolts. They can easily one-hit me, so I had to do this step in, step out method as I was doing before. But I managed to lure him over to this corner, and there's this one spot here where the lightning didn't hit. That's what I took advantage of, and that's what has been changed for the mechanics. They've made it so there's all the squares in the arena get hit at certain intervals. This is what I think has locked me into the lowest combat. I don't think you'd be able to avoid all the lightning as well as Tiki in. So again, I'll play the live clip. There is like this weird buzz on there, so I apologise for that, but you'll hear my reaction when I do finally get it.
Fucking yes! Come on! Oh, mate. Fuck. I don't know, I was lagging like fuck on the last little bit. I think there was just too much going on. Fuck.
I'm just gonna
Okay. Jesus. Hey, do you want to get the Reddit post up? Yeah. Post it alongside the other one. Fucking A. An hour-long fight. Yeah. Let me get the screenshots. Nah.
And there it is, finishing Sins the Father at the lowest combat to date. That's with a HP level of 33, defense level of 20, and prayer level of 15, totaling 47 combat. Again, as I said in the first video, thank you to everyone that helped along the way. So big shout out to, as mentioned before, Inverse and Gmaulerino. Without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. So massive thank you for everyone that helped keep me motivated along the way. Hope you enjoyed.